Walter Rauschenbusch is considered by many to be the father of Christian socialism. It may not be fair to consider him the originator, the founder, but he played a huge role in kind of bringing this idea forth of this liberal or progressive Christianity.
I want you to remember the name Walter Rauschenbusch. Because of him, the social gospel became very attractive to many people, whether they are Christians or non-Christians. In the late 19th century, many Christians started to see or started to believe that the social gospel was the gospel that would take them to or help them to live a more prosperous way of life. They seen that gospel as being more important and more feasible to the way of prosperity than the gospel of Jesus Christ. Check this out.
By the late 19th century, there were already some nominal Christians who rejected biblical doctrine and who embraced Marxist philosophy instead. These were proponents of what was called the social gospel or Christian socialism. One proponent in particular was Walter Rauschenbusch, who CPUSA co-founder Benjamin Gitlow identified in a 1953 hearing as one of the communist operatives who infiltrated the American Protestant Church.
Walter Rauschenbusch is considered by many to be the father of Christian socialism. It may not be fair to consider him the originator, the founder, but he played a huge role in kind of bringing this idea forth of this liberal or progressive Christianity. He spent some time in London where he became enamored with Fabian socialism.
This group of British intellectuals agreed on the Fabian tactic as the method they would use to implement socialism in England. Bring socialism by evolution rather than revolution. Walter Rauschenbusch became so imbued with this philosophy that he returned to the United States to thereafter preach socialist theology.
He came back to the States and penned a book titled Christianity and the Social Crisis.
It's more the collectivist idea, connecting Christianity to Marxist ideas. Rather than salvation being something that is an inward working of the Spirit of God that transforms the human heart, what Rauschenbusch would proclaim is that the gospel is insufficient to take care of the external needs of people.
So I went to Google just to see what information would come up when I asked the question, was Walter Rauschenbusch a Marxist? And this is what it says. It says, Walter Rauschenbusch was not a Marxist. He was a Baptist minister and theologian who became the leading figure of the early 20th century social gospel movement. While he heavily critiqued unregulated capitalism and was sympathetic to some socialist economic goals, his ideology was deeply rooted in Christian theology rather than Marxist materialism. It didn't say he didn't believe in the way of Marxism. It just says he was more deeply rooted in Christian theology opposed to Marxist materialism. Now, further down, it says, ultimately, Rauschenbusch's vision aligned much closer to Christian socialism. Okay, Christian socialism does not go together. It's actually an oxymoron. They oppose one another. But anyway, I'm not going to go there in this video, but it says his vision aligned much closer to Christian socialism as he believed Marxist economic ideas needed a Christian theology to be successful.